Well, today the judge in Donald Trump's classified documents case holding a hearing to determine whether Jack Smith can stay as a prosecutor after Trump's team claims Smith is illegally appointed, inappropriately, not nominated, and not passed by the Senate either. Trump's case is based on whether or not Smith is considered an employee of the Attorney General or whether or not his office is separate. The defense team is questioning Smith's selection and funding by the Department of Justice altogether. In Smith's case, Attorney General Merrick Garland appointed him to investigate the alleged crimes committed by President Trump. He was not appointed by the president. He was not confirmed by the Senate. These are, in my understanding of the statute, requirements. Joining me now to discuss all of this is counsel at the National Legal and Policy Center, Paul Kamenar. Paul, nice to see you again.
My pleasure. Good to see you.
Isn't that the way it's supposed to be? The president nominates, the Senate confirms. I think they missed a step or two or three here. Where am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. Under the Appointments Clause of the Constitution, all officers have to be appointed by the president, confirmed by the Senate. All U.S. attorneys are appointed by the president, confirmed by the Senate. And here you have Jack Smith, who's a super U.S. attorney. He can prosecute Donald Trump here in D.C. He can prosecute him in Florida. And now the DOJ is arguing, oh, no. He's just an inferior officer. And Merrick Garland can tap him on the shoulder and say, I hereby appoint you special counsel. That's utter nonsense. But in any event, there has to be a statute by Congress setting forth what the office of special counsel is. And there isn't any. So whatever argument you buy, there still is no underlying statute here. And that's what the argument is going on today, as well into the afternoon as we're talking right now.
Right. So what do you expect here? I mean, look, sometimes the law just doesn't matter in the courtrooms these days, Paul, it seems to me. Sometimes they just toss it out. I mean, the Supreme Court can tell the Biden administration they're not allowed to forgive student loans, and they say, well, we're going to do it anyway, and nothing happens. So does the law matter here? Does the fact that a special counsel like this must be appointed and then must be approved by the Senate, does any of that matter?
Yeah, it certainly does. And I think that eventually, if this does go to the Supreme Court, and it will, the Supreme Court will rule in Donald Trump's favor. I think there's at least 5 votes for that proposition, that you can't just tap anybody on the shoulder. I mean, Merrick Garland could have appointed Taylor Swift based on the way he's arguing his case and say, I hereby appoint you special counsel. No, it's got to be either one where he's appointed by the president, confirmed by the Senate, or there has to be a statute saying, Merrick Garland, you have that authority. There is no such statute, and therefore the case falls apart on either theory that we are arguing here.
All right, and having said all that, what do you expect to happen? How do you expect Judge Cannon to weigh in on this?
Yeah, well, she's taking this very seriously, to the consternation of the liberal media, saying, oh, how dare she have an argument on this? She should have just tossed it out right away. Not true. This is a serious thing. She's taking it seriously. And I just want to add that on Monday, she's going to be having a related argument, namely whether Jack Smith is operating with financial federal funds legally. He's drawing on the funds that were in the Congress appropriated for the Ken Starr independent counsel. So, there's 2 ways to go after Jack Smith here, and I think one or both should prevail, or at least one. So I think she's going to hold, I hope so, that there's just no statutory authority.
And if that's true, then, and if that's true, Paul, there is no special counsel, there is no investigation, right. The raid on Mar-a-Lago and all the other circus stuff gets thrown out the door. That would be an incredibly huge win for Donald Trump in his election efforts, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. Now, the question is, would this apply to the D.C. case? And I argued in the Mueller case that Bob Mueller was unconstitutional. Same arguments we're making here. And the D.C. Circuit said, no, we're going to just rubber stamp it based on a cryptic Supreme Court case. But we were never able to go to the Supreme Court on that. So I'm glad they're making this argument in Florida. I urge them to do so, because the Florida courts are not bound by the D.C. Circuit. So if she rules Jack Smith is unconstitutional, right, the judge here in D.C. says, well, no, I'm going to keep the case going. That's going to the Supreme Court.
No, it doesn't work that way. So I can tell you this. I just got a notification that the hearing in Eileen Cannon's courtroom has concluded for the day. No decision yet. I didn't expect it today anyway, did you?
No.
I did not. Let me ask you about something else. June 27th, next Thursday, we should see the last of the Supreme Court decisions for this session, including another one impacting Donald Trump, whether or not he has, the ability to say, I'm the president, and therefore I have immunity. That case is hanging in the balance right now. I have not heard that decision yet. That would also have a huge impact on all of this, obviously. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, it would have an impact on the D.C. case. I'm not sure it would have an impact on the Florida case, because the question is whether the conduct he was engaged in happened while he was president. Part of the Mar-a-Lago case are things that happened after he left the office. But no, sure, it would have a huge impact. I think the court will probably split the baby in half and say not give him full immunity, at the same time not say he's not immune at all. They'll probably say, well, he may be immune depending upon whether some of the things that Jack Smith charged him with were whether he was carrying out his presidential duties or whether he was wearing his hat as a private individual running.
But again, if Jack Smith is not legitimate, how does that continue?
Well, that's right. That's why if she rules that he's unconstitutional, that will go to the Supreme Court for them to put the final word on that. So that will basically
here's
lose
the two
even
things.
Immunity.
Here's the two things. I'll give you the last word on this, Paul. And nice work, by the way, sorting this all out for us. Because for us out here in Peasantville, it's a little tough some days, and I appreciate you explaining it to us. So two things, though. If Jack Smith is deemed to be in there unlawfully, I won't say illegally, I'll say unlawfully appointed, all right? And we'll just leave it there, and that's out.
Right.
And the Supreme Court rules that Trump has some immunity, even partial immunity. That's a 1-2 punch to these cases around the country. It will boost Donald Trump. He'll be able to go out on the stump speech and say, I told you so. I told you it was a witch hunt, and here we are. Last word to you.
No, that's absolutely right. It will be a punch in the gut of Jack Smith and the government. At a minimum, none of these cases will be tried before the election November 5th. So as Donald Trump said, the real verdict's going to come on November 5th in any event.
He's right, but wouldn't it be nice for his campaign? I guarantee you, for his campaign, they'd appreciate that. However, I think on July 11th, he'd like to be thrown in jail for about 2 days. It'd be worth about $1 billion in donations, based on previous windfalls from other cases. Paul, thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Glad to be here.